everyone. So here at Pinball Workshop, going on a little bit of road trip, heading up north into central Ohio to pick up a couple machines tonight. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Apparently I become the early solid state whisperer, and I'm going to pick up some fun projects to work on future Pinball Workshop videos. So get back and relax, and let's go have a fun drive ahead. So just got back home and got the two machines unloaded, and this is what I ended up with. A Flash Gordon and a Bally Paragon. So these things, as I mentioned, had a lot of issues, but let's take a look at it a little bit closer before we dive in deeper into maybe what's going on with them. So with the Flash Gordon, we can definitely see there's some play-filled paint loss here. So definitely been used or been played with a good bit. This seems to be pretty normal with this era of machine. As I move forward through the machine, it just looks like it's been sitting for a while. Pretty dirty. Rubbers all seem to be really gone, and we see a lot of paint loss around here by the pop bumpers. So this is going to probably be a restoration candidate with either a new play fill, which doesn't exist because you cannot find the CPR reproductions really anywhere, but may wait for one of those hard tops, much like I did for Space Shuttle. But during that time, if that hard top's not coming out anytime recently, I'll be able to go ahead and restore this machine, at least make it working, even though it won't be the most prettiest machine in the world. In terms of the cabinet, it's in decent shape. This side here is actually worse than the other side. A little rust there on that sheet metal panel below, but the bottom looks good. It's not bowed really bad or anything. And then on the other side, yeah, still looks good. Always got some branding there from a distributor in the past. Moving over, looking at the head. So I did find a manual. So I'm kind of a manual snob, so I like having the manuals. And then as I move down in the machine, obviously the back box insert board looks a little rough, but that can always be resolved. So it's kind of, apologies here, it's going to be a little dark. But the one thing that you'll see right away is obviously you've got that battery and you've got a decent amount of battery alkaline damage. So that tells me that's going to be something that I'm going to need to resolve by getting a new, and it's a -35 MPU board. I actually have one downstairs at work, so I'll have to be able to swap those out as well. Moving over, there's the infamous Squawk and Talk soundboard that is probably broken or doesn't work correctly, because I haven't found one that isn't broken or doesn't work correctly, so I'll have to look at that. And everything else looks pretty decent. I see that I've got some old capacitors there on the display driver board, so I may end up recapping that board as well. All in all, I think it's still a great pickup. This was definitely a project machine, and I paid a project machine money for it. So I'm all in all pretty happy with it. It's a great machine. Looking forward on doing a full teardown and rebuild in upcoming videos. One thing I'm also going to show with the Flash Gordon video is, just like what I have a machine that I've never seen running. I don't know about its operation outside of just the physical inspection. So what we'll do is we'll do a video on what to do when you find a machine, in terms of not what to test, but when you bring it home, what are the key things that you should do before you power it on. So we'll be doing that one with the Flash Gordon. Moving over to the Paragon. So for those who do not know, this is a wide body machine, and this is going to be a little hard to see, and I apologize. Let me see if I can. All right, so I moved the machine out a little bit just so we can get a better viewpoint over here. But again, like most Paragons, there is a significant amount of play-field wear. Everything seems to be there though, outside of this flipper looking a little roasted. Everything else doesn't look too terrible. And in fact, most of the playfield wear is right there in that middle section where you usually see a lot of wear on machines. So this one may not necessarily be in a complete loss from a playfield perspective. Looks like there's still maybe some life in, but I haven't had a chance to open it up and look at it. I do know that this machine has been sitting in a warehouse for 15 years. So this machine has not been turned on in that amount of time. Again, cabinet, it's dirty, but it's still nice. Obviously, there's a little bit of fade. You can see the difference in red here versus the red that was underneath the legs there. So definitely a lot of fade on the cabinet, but something I probably wouldn't touch up. I just leave it as is. I also like the coin box, a little rusty inside. And also there's some pool cue chalk, just in case, when you need to sharpen your stick when you play pinball. In terms of the head, again, same fade on the head. Again, very similar with the Flash Gordon with just a lot of dirt. And this one's going to be that one's open. This one's going to be, I think, a little bit easier to see. Very, very dirty. Again, you've got the battery here, but I'm not seeing really a ton of battery alkaline damage. It looks like this board may have been replaced at some point in its life. I'm going to have to just do some testing on that. You do see that, you've got your other board, your soundboard, your power board, and your auxiliary lamp driver board. Everything else looks fine. This is one that obviously does have the rectifier board here. We do see we had some cut wires that were due to some they were already soldered straight to the rectifier board. I'm going to take this board out and completely refurbish it, and we'll do an episode on either replacing the board or doing a refurbishment on it as well. So again, project machine, project price. So very happy that I walked out with both of these machines from a retired operator. He's getting rid of his buildings, so therefore any machines he had left over, he's getting rid of them. One final thing, as you see all the other stuff in my garage, is I got a whole box of displays. So anywhere from, this looks to be a Williams display driver board for probably a System 6 type of machine. I have a lot of these displays and display boards. Let's see. It's another, I think, Williams. No, it's Gottlieb. So a Gottlieb display. I'm guessing that's probably System 1. A bunch of these Stern-related displays. I don't know if these work in Bally's. I'm not for sure, actually. I've never had an early solid-state Stern machine like a Fly 2000 or a 9-ball or anything of that nature. But yeah, so I've got a ton of these right here on top. So let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. 6. You can see here. This is definitely a Williams. So it's a 6-digit. So probably, again, System 6, System 3, System 7. Here is a holder with no glass for a Bally. So I'll put that in the Bally pile. Again, another Bally one that it's missing the part of the container up top, but the glass is there. Let's see. Oh, this is definitely a Gottlieb. Yeah, this is probably another. This is definitely a System. I believe a System 1. Another Bally. I don't even know what's all in this box. I did not pay a lot of money for this box, so another Bally. Yeah, these are gonna be all the Dash 15s. That's a controller one. Ooh, I don't know what that is. That's an interesting one. I'm not really for sure that goes to. Obviously, I'm assuming that goes to a game I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. So this one's a new one for me. I'm not for sure. So if you let me know what this is in the comments below, because I don't know what game this goes to. I'm guessing more of an earlier Gottlieb, but yeah, I don't know. It's obviously a slave one for something. I don't know. I'll have to research that some more. That one. Another Bally. These are mostly all Bally's that are left down here. And I pull out a Stern just as I say that. So I'm not for sure which ones of these work and which ones don't. I would imagine most of the glass is not going to work. So what I'm going to do is, the boards are still going to be good. I can always either replace the glass, or what I can do is, there are some third-party designs out there. I think Pintech is one of them that actually you can put new glass into old boards and make them LED. So I may be buying some of those to have as oh, look here, bad 12/3 of 1985. So I'm going to assume that's not going to work. What does that say there? Rockwell, 1979. Oh, Gottlieb's. Okay, that probably makes sense from that side, probably. And then I've got another Bally. Obviously, that one has had some issues because those are not resistors in a very specific way that look very healthy. And then another, look like it's in credit match for Gottlieb. And looks sweet. I'm already making money back. And Marlboros. Not for me, but I'll take the quarter. So all in all, I got all these boards, displays, for not a lot of money. Basically, for the price of one working, I got a handful of Gottlieb's, Stearns, and a ton of Bally's. So all in all, pretty good haul for me. And what we'll do next is start to get to working on these machines.